And I realize it's not just the dulcet tones of their voice and the incredible rhythm section.
Yeah.
Music is just like undulating with pure passion.
Yeah.
But it's this Pavlovian response, because every time I hear that song, then a room full of people cheer for me.
Yeah.
So
you're like a cat ringing a bell.
I'm like, right. I'm like the
ding, 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 and a kibble falls. Ding, 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 kibble.
Cut to Misha in the retirement home going,
Play that again.
Do you have the sensation that if that song comes on the radio, do you immediately stop the car and get out and expect, like, start walking? Is it further movement than you?
I can be on an interstate going 75 miles an hour and I jump out the door.
You're walking. Yeah, good. By the way, real quick, I like the jacket.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah, man. I like the fact at first I was like, I didn't know if it's a vest or a sweater. It needs to make a choice. Now I'm like, no, I actually really dig it. It's working.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
What do you think this is? I'll give you a hint. This is from, the brand is a Norwegian brand.
It's wool. What's your name?
It's a Norwegian wool.
Right. That's what I thought too. And then the tag on it, it says it's 100% polyester.
Everything.
No, not the wool part.
That's how I feel, right?
No, they're jerking your chain. That's classic Norwegian. Yeah, I don't think it's polyester, haha. That is a wool.
That was really good. I mean, it's not Norwegian, but it's very good.
It's an accent.
It's not offensive to anyone. You ever got the shooting on my friend?
Your French accent in
Lucifer, yeah. That you taught me.
Yeah, man. You've been getting a lot of compliments about that
It's
accent?
been a great day for me that way, yeah. No, it's great. And keep going. Keep going.
Don't you remember how...
Hey, I keep adjusting this.
I'm sorry.
It's coming out.
I know.
What's going on?
Yeah, thank you. He's my cuff guy. Everybody should have one.
Cuff fluffer.
Don't you remember when Frida, our makeup artist Frida, who's Swedish, was trying to describe a Cleveland steamer? And one of my favorite things that she was doing is somebody's like, well, I'm like, Frida, do you know what a Cleveland steamer is? And he goes, well, yeah, so you're in a couple, and you're with your mate, and your mate wants you to defecate on his sternum. It is dedicated to a city in Ohio called Cleveland. It is the Cleveland steamer. I'm like, that's never been sexier to me than you described it.
And on that note, I can't wait till Frida sees that little clip.
Please. Yeah, because she's glued.
That spot on impression.
She's glued to the web to see what we're doing at conventions. I guarantee. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Polyester himself.
It feels like it has the scratchiness of wool. Is polyester scratchy? It is? I have been sweating, so maybe you're onto something. Hi.
Hi, Misha.
Hi. It's so nice. You do. It's so nice to be back here. This is a kind of sentimental for me because my very first creation convention. Yours too? Now was that, were we at the same convention? No, it's been longer than that, way longer than that.
I was there.
Okay.
Mine was 10 years ago.
You were just 10 years ago. Yeah.
Just.
That's very recent. Was in New Jersey and I came out on stage and Cherry Hill, New Jersey, yeah. Were you there? Really? You look even younger today than you did. You've had a lot of work done and it really shows. I remember thinking, because I don't know if you've seen on the website, it says there's a panel. And traditionally, a panel is when there are a group of people discussing something on stage. But the folks who put the creation shows together don't know that. And so they just, like a lamb to the slaughter, push you out on stage all by yourself, and you have been up all night trying to learn about the show that you're on because you can't remember any of the details that you know you're going to be quizzed by the fans about. Like, oh, well, Azizil's grandfather, who was that? And so it's kind of like that song is a Pavlovian positive response for me. Coming out on stage in New Jersey is also terrifying for me. Because it reminds me of my first convention. No, but then everybody was so nice. And you can see in everyone's eyes as they're looking up at you just how sorry they are for you. And that goes such a long ways, you know? I'm sorry, I'm in ramble mode. My first time I was in New Jersey, other than just driving through on the interstate on the way to my grandparents' house in Baltimore, was I decided I was going to ride, I was 16, and I was going to ride my bike from Boston to Northern Virginia to visit my girlfriend, so I didn't have a car. And it's a long ride, and if it's the summer and you take your shirt off, then you have like blistering sunburn, and you're kind of miserable. And I decided I was going to ride across the Tappan Zee Bridge, which isn't technically legal. And so I was halfway across, and the police came and got me. They brought me back over, and they held me in this like little police detention center. And they found a tow truck that would drive me across. And the guy told me about all the dead bodies he had pulled out of the river. And then I managed to ride on, and I got into my plan. I had a tent on the back of my bike. My plan was I was going to find a nice spot to camp, and it was like 4 o'clock, and I was coming into Trenton, and I thought I'll go through Trenton and out the other side. But what they don't tell you is that, like a glue trap for a mouse, Trenton is not something you can bike through. You get stuck there, and that's because the roads are paved with glass, and so you get a flat tire every 500 feet. And so I had all these patches for my tires, and it was like a pain. Like, take the wheel off, take the tire off, put on the patch, find a piece of glass, pull it out, and you go another few hundred feet, you get another flat tire. And I ran out of patches, and now it was like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and getting dark, and I had about $70 in cash. That was it. And the only place I could find to stay was a motel that you rent by the hour. And so I got a room, and as soon as I shut the door into my room, somebody knocks at the door, and I open the door, and it's this very scantily clad woman, very little clothing, and she asked if I was looking for her, and I said, not to my knowledge. But I knew what she was about. I was 16, but I wasn't that naive. And I figured, I only have 20 bucks, and I don't think that's going to go far enough. So, and then I shut the door, and a few minutes later, somebody else knocked on the door, and this guy was selling drugs. And he was like, "Are you looking for me?" And I said, no, thank you. And then I just I shut the door, did a little chain latch, decided I was just going to not open the door anymore, and I just spent the night in there with my roommates, which were a bunch of tits in the bed. And it was refreshing. Anyway, so this was when Cherry Hill came along, I was like, oh God, New Jersey. Because this was my only experience of your beautiful garden state. I was like, garden? It's just glass. But today I went for a run in the park here. It was like miles and miles of beautiful trails out in the woods, deer, gophers. It was like a Disney movie. It was amazing. It really is the garden state. Thanks for having me back all these years later. Okay, enough of my reminiscence. Hi.
Hi. My name's Jennifer.
Hi, Jennifer.
First time doing this, a little bit nervous. But I was wondering if there's ever a time in real life where you found yourself reverting to cats without realizing it.
You mean like, oh, that was so Cass of me?
Yeah,
Like, yeah, that happens from time to time. Like every once in a while, if for example, I got pulled over for running a stop sign recently, and I was like, oh, come on, I was like barely rolled through the stop sign, and the cop was kind of a dick about it, and so I smoked him. And it was just a reflex, you know, I put my hand on his. And then I realized, like, actually the kids were in the back, and they were like, Dad, that was so Cass of you. It's just a smoldering pile of his uniform next to the car. And then I felt bad about it. Ended up sending a box of chocolates to his family. Thank you. Hi.
Hi, I'm Julio. Oh my gosh, I'm so nervous. First of all, I want to say I really love Gotham Knights.
Oh, thank you.
So the question would be, other than not being pranked by Jensen and Jared on the set, what is the most amazing thing that happened in the set of Gotham Knights?
I've had a lot of really positive experiences working on that show so far. Coming off of working on Supernatural, I was like a little ambivalent. Like, do I want to do another series right now, or do I want to take a few years off because I was tired? I just wanted to do something different. I think I have a short attention span, and I like to. What is that? What is that about? Oh yeah, I do have a short attention span. Can't focus on anything for 30 seconds. Very judgy crowd. And but this show came along, and I was like, gosh, that sounds like it could be a lot of fun. And it ended up being so great that I have now changed my tune, and I'm thinking, oh no, I definitely want to work on. I'd like to. I hope we have another season or 2 or 3 on our show. The corporate winds are not blowing in our favor just because our network got purchased recently, and there's all of this other stuff going on. So we'll see. But I really loved it, and I would love to do more of it. I had a funny experience, which I've shared before, but I'll share again because I've run out of stories. I have this thing when sometimes I'll wake up from a dream and it feels like, oh, that is crystal clear. You need to implement whatever this was in your life. I've had dreams where I've had like art project ideas, writing ideas, and sometimes it's just so crystallized, it's so clear. When I wake up, I'm like, that has to be it. Like, we found a turtle, and I dreamt, I'm bad at remembering names, and in my dream, over and over, I was repeating to myself, Misha, you have to remember, the turtle's name is Drydraluxlaloud. Repeat it back to me. Drydraluxlaloud. And I, in my dream, made myself repeat it over and over and over again. The turtle's name is Drydraluxlaloud. It's D-R-Y-D-R-A-L-U-X-L-A-U-D. Drydraluxlaloud. Remember it. And so I woke up and I was like, honey, I'm really sorry, but our turtle's name is Drydraluxlaloud. And we had to stick with it. And then the name, like, had some sentimental value all of a sudden, because it was like such a potent dream memory. And so then we got a boat, and we named it Drydraluxlaloud. And when you go into a harbor, you have to get on the radio, and I didn't think it through. So when you go into a harbor, you have to announce to the harbor master over the radio what your boat's name is. And most people are like, I'm coming in on Sea Breeze or something. And I would have to say, I'm coming in on Drydraluxlaloud. And they would say, can you spell that? And then I would have to spell it. And then they'd say, I'm sorry, can you spell that again? And so I would be clouding up the airwaves over and over again, lamenting, ruining the day. I listened to this dream. But I had a dream working on Gotham Knights, and it was a very clear dream, and it was how my character's arc should end at the end of the season. And so I called the producers and I said, I'm sorry to be this actor, it's really annoying. You feel free to ignore me, but I had this dream of what should happen. And our showrunners are always together. And I was just on the phone with them, so I couldn't see them, but I know that they looked at each other and they rolled their eyes. Just don't say anything right now, Chad. Got it? We'll just nod and smile and say, well, we'll think about it. But then I conveyed my dream and they ended up making that the arc for the character. They were like, that's so weird. That's a very good idea. That solves a problem that we've been having with it. Thank you. So that was really cool. It was cool to have this like creative collaborative process on the show with everyone, you know, from costume design to the writers to the other actors. It was a lot of fun. Thanks. Pepper?
Yep.
Hi, Pepper.
I love Bridgewater.
Oh, thanks.
But in season 2, we discovered that it has to do with the Fey realm. And there's, in season 6 of Supernatural, there's an episode about the Fey realm. So I'm just wondering, if there's a season 3, can you get Jensen on to yell, fight the fairies?
I don't think we're saying that anymore. I don't think that's very PC. It wasn't PC even then, right? Even way back in the 20-teens, we weren't saying that. Yeah. I certainly will not do that. But thank you for asking. We did try to get Jensen on the show to play Batman on Gotham Knights. And he was too busy. Hi.
Hi, I'm Stacy. I'm from South Jersey.
Hi, Stacy.
Hi. My niece and I always text back and forth reels of you and Supernatural, and your voice is so different from Misha to Cass. How did you come up with the Cass voice?
It was a voice modulation software that they used in post-production. They thought that I sounded too much like a field mouse. And so they changed the pitch of my voice in post. I thought that Castiel was trying to communicate with Dean in the first episode that I appear in. Episode 401, Lazarus Rising. It's the only episode I and Castiel was trying to communicate with Dean before he took a human vessel, but when he did that, like the windows would blow out, or the television would explode, or whatever. So I thought, oh, it'd be cool that when he does take a human form, he doesn't have my normal squeaky voice, but he has this like deep, commanding voice. So I did that, and I also thought I was doing 3 episodes. I didn't think it was going to be a lifetime. So I guess I was probably like 7 or 8 episodes in, and I went to the doctors because I had a sore throat, and the doctor helped me figure out that it was because of this stupid voice that I was doing for Castiel. She was like, have you been yelling a lot? Or, oh, I see. Okay. So it caused me physical harm.